Super important that we protect our precious metals. Yep, today's video going to be all about storage. We've got 4 ammunition cases here that we're going to be taking a look at. And then once we're done with that, I've got a 5th bonus case we're going to take a closer look at as well. A lot of work to do. Let's get started. We're going to take a look at this case first because I did have a bit of a problem with this case. It's something that I think I can rectify, fix pretty easily. But first, we'll use this one to just go over all of the features. First of all, it is solid as a rock. It is super rugged. We flip around to the hinge side. We can see that we do have the metal rod in the hinges, which is awesome. If we flip back around, we are double locking points on this thing. And we've got the cam over style hinges, but these aren't just cam over style hinges. They've got these little red spots on them, these little red latches as well. You have to pull those down to be able to open this thing. So nice, robust handle. And then if you notice right there, you've got your little air pressure valve there as well. Well, why the cam over hinges? Why the air pressure valve? Well, because this thing, once you seal it down, is airtight. It is watertight. And that is great for protection, right? So let's open this thing up. And obviously, we've got a seal that's going to go around the outside edge on this thing. You'll notice there that the lid does stay up. There is a lot of ammo, right? This is a 5.56 case. It is actually double layered, and that's where the problem kind of comes into play. It does come with this little rope or strap to help lift out this top layer, and that rope goes through here and here on either side. The problem that I ran into is with the weight of this, that rope pulls through the foam. So what it needs is some type of a backing on the back side. So I'm going to get a piece of metal strapping just long enough, right, to go through those holes, or to be long enough to fit those holes, I should say. And then I'm going to run me some paracord through, knot it on the back side, and that should give some added support. But let me get this top layer out, since those little straps are broke for now, and show you the bottom layer. So even though it is a little tedious, there is the top layer out, and you can notice a big difference with this bottom layer. We've got our orientation is different. These are all 2 deep in those little slots. We've got little extra compartments as well. And then we've got our desiccant, or little humidity thing. This is rechargeable. Now, one of the things I'll point out real quick on these cases, one thing I like to do, whether I'm using cases, ammo cans, whatever, is I like to take and make sure that I've got some type of marking. I usually will cut the box for that ammunition and put it in there. That way I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Well, what's kind of neat about this setup is that top layer could be used just for bulk stuff. And then the bottom layer here, especially with the orientation, you could have various different types of ammunition down here. You could have your sure enough match stuff. You could have your hunting ammunition, or just however you wanted to organize this, which makes it really neat. All right, this next one here is the same exact design as that previous one. Pretty much the exact same size as well, but it holds different ammo. So we're not going to go over the features. They're exactly the same. Flip the lid open and looky there. We've got our shot shell case right here. 150 rounds in this one. I believe that previous case was 600 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. But we've got 20 and 12 gauge comfortably fits in this thing for sure. 150 rounds, that's plenty enough typically for a sporting clays match. And when you're out on a sporting clays course, the protection this provides, if I can speak today, with those seals and being watertight, could come in super, super handy. You've also got your little desiccant thing right there that mounts pretty easy in the side. And because, of course, you've got those long 12 gauge shells, this is just going to be one layer, no double layer on this one. But my goodness, that is a lot of 12 gauge. And same thing, we want to make sure that we put the top from the ammo box in there so we know what type of ammo we're dealing with. And we will close this one up and move on. Now we've got a different style case. This one obviously not quite as robust as the previous two cases we looked at. Not quite as refined, not quite as fancy, but as far as transport, as far as storage, organization, I think it will get it done. Does not have the metal pin in the hinge here. Uh, and this uses a different style latching system. It uses a slide out style latching system on the front. You do have double locking points. And the cool thing about the slide out systems is if you lock that down, there's really, you got to tear this case up to get into it. So that's kind of cool. Now, this thing kind of opens like a book, or I recommend that you stand it up and open it because, boom, it is, there you go, double sided. This particular one made for 9mm. I have 380 in it now, and it does fine with 380. I've also checked it with 38 Super, 38 Special, and 357, and it does well with those too, and mainly because the diameters of the cartridges are all the same. So keep that, or close enough, I should say, not the same. But keep that in mind if you're looking at the ammo cases like this. You may find one that says it's for 9mm, and you're like, well, I need something for 380. Well, the 9mm more than likely will work. But you can see that this one right here, double-sided, tons and tons, lots of ammo. So for, organization, for going to matches, for that sort of thing, will work out really, really well. And need to put my, boom, label from my box in there. And again, I like to open and close this one this way because you never know with the weight of that ammo. If you just try to lift the lid normally, some of the ammo in the top of the lid, I mean, it could fall out. It's gravity. It's a thing, right? Just like before, we have a virtually identical case here, so we're not going to get too crazy into the features. They are pretty much the same. The difference being that this one right here will hold a ton of 22 long rifle. Now, I have not tried 22 Magnum, 17 HMR, or anything like that in here, but there seems to be anyway, quite a bit of room, of space. And that may very well indeed work with those cartridges in this case as well. Again, I just haven't tested it out. Again, double-sided. You have your foam that goes in between your pieces. Obviously, we need to take and we need to put our box top in there so we know what we're dealing with. And again, just like with that 9mm case that I have my 380 in, I would open and close this way, sort of like a book, same thing, and latch it closed. That way you don't risk whatever is on that upside down side falling out. All right, bonus time. Here we go. And you can tell that this case right here looks a lot like those first two we looked at. We've got the metal hinges. We've got the double locking points. We've got cam over style latches there. We've got a nice handle. We've got our air valve, which means we're going to be airtight, watertight, and all that jazz. The main difference, I would say, with this is you do not have that added red thing down here that locks your cam over latches down. You can accidentally bump those and flip those up, so you would want to be careful with that. So let's open this thing up and take a look inside, and you'll notice right away that the lid stays up just like those other ones. This one came with a couple of TSA approved locks, always nice. And right away you notice that it's got red foam. I don't know that I've ever seen that before, but that is certainly pretty cool. You'll also notice that it is kind of rectangular in shape. So quite often you see more of a square profile, and with a rectangular shape in this case, it can be really great for things like revolvers or longer barreled firearms, of course. Now, this is a pick and pluck style foam, but there's also something unique about the pick and pluck foam as well. If I can get this out, hopefully I can show it on camera, but it has diagonal. Can you see those diagonal cuts? It has diagonal cuts in the pick and pluck foam. See how it makes an X design in that? And I don't know that I've ever seen that as well. Most of the pick and pluck I've seen is a square design. that being diagonal, when you go to lay out whatever handgun you want in here and cut that out, having those diagonal slots allows you a lot tighter, a lot closer fit with your cutout on the firearm, on the handgun that you're using inside this case. So, really neat case, I think, with some cool features that I just haven't seen on any other case. I'm curious to know your thoughts on the cases that we looked at today. So do me a favor, jump down in a comment below. Let me know what you think. Are there any of these that would work for a specific application that you've got? And speaking of those specific applications, this company does make a variety of cases for a variety of different things. And as far as the ammo cases go, they do have those available for various cartridges as well. To help you out with all that, I'll drop a link in a pinned comment down below. As far as my overall final thoughts, I really like these cases. The bigger ones in particular for longer term storage or for storage when you may be traveling in some elements or something like that. Talking about weather, I think these do a really good job. I think they're pretty awesome. The smaller cases, while they're not quite as robust as far as just quick travel, maybe for a match or something like that, I really like those as well. So not just the security and the superior storage factor on these for me, but it's also the convenience of organization.